Hello there, and welcome to Really Cool Excel. This is our second look at a very handy feature called conditional formatting. If you haven't come across this before, conditional formatting simply means that Excel will automatically format a cell based on the data in that cell. If you'd like to learn more, check out Part 1 from earlier in the Really Cool Excel series. The main benefit of this extremely useful feature is that Excel alerts you with colourful highlighting, graphics or symbols that you are approaching some sort of target or threshold, or maybe even that you've passed it. Now that could be good news or bad news for your business, but either way you probably want to know. I'll show you some examples of how you can use conditional formatting to help you analyse data. Here are some percentages. It doesn't really matter what they represent, but if we had to analyse them manually, we would probably find it quite difficult to see the spread of values. The picture isn't all that clear. Conditional formatting has an option called data bars. Let's see what they do. I've put 100% in here, and you'll see why in a minute. Select the data, click Conditional Formatting, Data Bars, then just choose a colour. The cell with 100% has a full data bar, which is why I added that percentage, and all the other data bars are sized according to how they compare to 100%. Now the percentages are much easier to interpret. And if I sort them into ascending order, the picture becomes even clearer. Here's another option. It's called Top 10. This block of data represents a company's turnover figures for the past 10 years. Now imagine I work in the finance department and I get a quick call from the finance director asking me to find out what were the top 10 months for turnover over the period. Manually, it would take a few minutes to come up with an answer, and I might just make a mistake. But conditional formatting will give us an immediate answer. Select the data, conditional formatting, top and bottom rules, top 10 items. Incidentally, I can change it to top whatever here, but for this example I'll leave it at 10, and I'll just leave the default formatting too. Click OK, and we have the top 10 highlighted in an instant. Good, eh? Or you can find the bottom 10, the top X%, or the bottom X%. Quite a lot of options here. We can also use conditional formatting to highlight any duplicate values. Here is a list of invoice numbers, all for different jobs, so there shouldn't be any duplicates. We can use conditional formatting to check, to save us doing it manually. As usual, we'll start by selecting the data, then conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and duplicate values. And as you can see now, we do have some duplicates. This is a handy little trick that you just might find useful on occasion. Incidentally, you can also highlight unique values using the same route. Or we can use symbols known as icons, like these, to show how a range of values compare against preset thresholds. An example could be you want to monitor the productivity figures of a team of operators. To illustrate, I have the operators listed in column A and their productivity figures in column B. Here's what I want to do. Against each operator, I'd like a green icon if their productivity is 1.5 or higher. I want to see an amber icon if the productivity is between 0.5 and 1.5. But if their productivity is below 0.5, I'd like conditional formatting to generate a red icon. Then I will know which operators could do with some coaching and support. Here's how to create these icons. Select Conditional Formatting, then New Rule. We'll format all cells based on their values, which is the first option on this list. And the format style will be icon sets. You'll see there are loads of different icon sets, about 15 of them, but I'll just use the default, traffic lights. OK, let's set the thresholds I mentioned a minute ago. First, I'll change the type setting to number, which overwrites the default setting. The icon will be green if the value is greater than or equal to 1.5. It will be amber if the value is greater than or equal to 0.5, and of course less than 1.5, and by setting the first two values, the third value is automatically set to less than 0.5. Click OK, and now all the values have the appropriate icon right next to them. We'll test one just to make sure it's working. Let's change 2.1 to 0.4, and there we have it, a red icon. And that's conditional formatting with icon sets. Right back at the beginning I said that you can use conditional formatting to alert you in a very visual way that you are approaching some sort of target or threshold, or maybe even that you've passed it. And there you've seen 4 different examples: data bars, top and bottom rules, duplicates, and icon sets. Conditional formatting means Excel is doing all the work, and we are performing no manual calculations, which is just as it should be. Once we set conditional formatting up, all we have to do is update the figures and watch the results coming in. And that's where we'll leave conditional formatting for now. Don't forget, this video is part 2, so if you haven't seen part 1, why not go back and have a look? I'll leave you now to go off and experiment, and if you'd like more practice, download the associated Excel file from the website. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next time.